You guys know I make money with social media. By far, Snapchat is the easiest. If you watch my videos, you see I do Snapchat shows, I upload on Spotlight, and I also post my stories. It's 2024, almost 2025, and I can still say Snapchat is still one of the easiest ways to print money. Think about the average person working 9 to 5, 8 hours to make at most $150 a day. And you have a higher paying job, maybe you're like $250 a day. Even $200 a day, that's not bad. That's $6,000 a month. Yeah, it sounds really good until you know that there's people like me who's made over $1,000 in a day from posting on my Snapchat story. From posting stupid pictures. The internet is actually a cheat code. You wanna know a fun fact? Snapchat pays my rent alone. The YouTube channels are great, the TikTok's great, the Instagram's great, but because Snapchat's so easy, it's the best. Because it's still so new and so simple, and this video probably won't get like 100,000 views or anything, I'm going to tell you everything that I know about Snapchat, how I grew to 100,000 followers in 20 days, and why you should be on Snapchat if you're trying to make some good money really easily. But first, let me explain something to you. All these social media platforms right now, they're in a war, they're in a big competition, they're competing with one another. Snapchat is fighting TikTok, TikTok is fighting YouTube Shorts, is fighting Instagram Reels, is fighting Facebook Reels. It's all a big mess. And each platform has to be unique in some way. And the people on the app, the users, the creators, are the people that make the app strive, which make it get more money. And these apps know the only way that they can compete is if they have creators generating content on their platform. And Snapchat is very late to the game. When you think about posting short form content on the internet, no one thinks about Snapchat. People say, oh, I'm a YouTuber or I'm an Instagram star. But no one says I'm a Snapchatter. And Snapchat knows this problem, which is why they're trying to fix it. They're trying to fix it by giving away a lot of money. Giving money away to creators on the app. I realized this with shows. And by the way, this is not just me spewing this out of my ass. I've worked with Snapchat. They've invited me out to meetings. You have a very great love-hate relationship, but I know this platform. You know those cringy, satisfying, or compilation shows you see on the Snapchat Discover feed? I ran 2 of those that were top 25 on the entire app. Literally, 5% of all people who view Snapchat have seen one of my episodes. Come on, man. Look at the shows. Look at this daily revenue. Oh my goodness. In one day. But never mind that. I'll talk about it later. Let's get back to stories. So I found out really big creators were making thousands a day on Snapchat stories. And because I really, really love money, I knew I wanted to tap into this industry as soon as possible, as fast as possible. After using the app, I shortly realized that the people who were winning on stories also had a big following. So step 1, I knew I had to get Snapchat followers. And I found that by far Spotlight is the best way to gain followers. And you know why Spotlight is so great? Because the Snapchat Spotlight algorithm is stupid. You want the secret on how I grew so fast? I posted 40 videos in one day. And usually if you post 40 videos in a day on TikTok or on Instagram, you'll get shadow banned. But because Snapchat algorithm is so broken, it worked. Now I know you may be thinking, how did you make 40 videos in a day? Well, I didn't. I just downloaded my old TikTok videos and I moved them over to Snapchat. The best thing about short form content is that the same video that you post on TikTok, you can post on Instagram, you can post on YouTube Shorts, and you can post on Snapchat. I will never understand why people just stick to one platform when you can post the same video on all of them and expand your reach. And by the way, if you're watching this video, you're probably not a creator and you probably don't have 700 of your own TikToks that you can post onto Snapchat. I've helped countless of other people grow their following on Snapchat who didn't have this same crazy leverage. Shout out to my boy Kawan, 5K in 2 weeks. Shout out to my boy Deshaun, he had 100 million views. Shout out to my boy Will, he scaled 7 accounts to over 1K in 30 days. We're talking 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers within your first month. Look at my boy Fabio, 11 million views in the first 7 days. And we can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, all my students I've taught Snapchat to. If you want my free document going into more details, DM me on Instagram. But let's get back on track. So I was posting content, I built up my following, now what's next? The next step is actually building up your stories. On Snapchat's website, they have requirements on what you need to actually get your ads and stories. You need 25 million views on your stories in the past 28 days, or 12,000 hours of watch time. You also need 50,000 followers. And you must post 20 times a day in your story for the past 28 days. I know what you're saying. That sounds very, very hard. I promise you it's not as hard as you think, but I have some really good news. Guess who got an email from Snapchat 2 days ago leaking their new monetization platform? If you guessed me, you're right. Boom, take a look at this. Snapchat is about to make it 10 times easier to get monetized on your stories. So yeah, you still need 50,000 followers, but now you need to post at least 25 times per month to a story or Spotlight. Before, the only thing that matters was story views, but now Spotlight can actually help you get monetized on stories as well. Before, there was a program to get monetized on Spotlight, and there's also a program to get monetized on stories. Now they're merged together. And now, instead of getting the ridiculous 25 million views on just your story, you can do it with only 1 million Spotlight views, or 10 million Snap views, or 12,000 hours of watch time. But obviously, getting 1 million views on your Snapchat Spotlight is so easy. Ridiculously easy. Like, so easy that I'm jealous that it wasn't a thing when I first got into the program. Because I grinded and grinded and grinded to try to get 25 million views on my story. Because at first, I was getting 40 million views a month on my Spotlight and like 3 million on my story. But now it's about to be super easy. According to Snapchat, this is coming out February 1st, which is why I'm making this video, because you want to be as early as possible. This is your time to grow your Snapchat audience right now. Because when February 1st comes, you're gonna get monetized. You're gonna start making money on your story. And you're gonna invite me to your wedding because it helped change your life. All right, now, you know all the requirements. Now let's talk about how you're actually gonna build your story views. Like I said, I've talked to developers of Snapchat. I know exactly how this works. If you follow what I'm about to tell you, you will get more story views. I was gonna hold the camera and walk around, but it might be better if I just get on my computer and screen share. This is one of my old presentations for my community. I made this back in our 1.0 launch, but now we're in our 3.0 launch. But all the information here is still gold and it's everything that you need to know. All right, number one, what is a snap story? If you made it this far in this video and you don't even know what a snap story is, I don't know how to help you. But pretty much a snap story is instantly just, you know, the pictures that you see on your Discover page. You're gonna see other people's stories. You're also going to see shows on there as well as ads. So this is just pretty much, you know, what it is. Can you build a brand with stories? Obviously, you know, you can build a brand with stories. Number three, how to post on your public story. This is really just for beginners. Honestly, you should know how to post a picture on Snapchat. You just post a public story like you post everything else. How to get monetized with Snap Stories. You've seen this. How well does stories monetization pay? Oops. Uh-oh. I'm not allowed to show that due to some clause in my contract. But as you see, it pays really well. But we're actually going to get into how these payments work later in the video. I also wanted to make it clear, as of the time that I'm making this video, this very, very well may change. You need a SnapStar to be eligible for this program. Just a little bit ago, I talked about the brand new unified monetization program, which is going to allow everyone in, which I'm believing 120% that it's going to be everyone, even if you don't have a SnapStar. But I would 120% recommend getting a SnapStar. It's going to make your journey a lot easier. You can apply for a SnapStar on Snapchat's website. They're going to confirm you or deny you, or you can go through an outside agency to actually give you a star. I'm going to be honest, that's how most people get a star. What I did simply, I built up my following really fast. I showed them my analytics, and guess what? I got a star the next day. So just abuse Spotlight as much as you can, build up that following so they just can't deny you. But I wouldn't stress about that too much as of today. Now let's get into optimizing your Snap stories. So obviously, number one, you want to grow your following as much as you can through Spotlight over here. You're going to build a story audience from that, and then you're going to get that moolah. This is the bread and butter. Everyone pay attention. Get a notepad if you need it. Snapchat rewards, high CTR, but mainly high AV. These are the two biggest things. If you don't know what CTR is click-through rate. It's your rate from impressions, the amount of people that see your page, and the amount of people that click on it. And your AVD means average viewer duration, how long people are actually watching your stories. So we have a guy, his name's Sean Diddy Combs, right? He watches your story. It has 3 snaps on it. He watched it for 3 seconds. He watched for 3 seconds and he clicked off. That's not good. Snapchat doesn't like that. We have another guy. We'll call him Jermaine Cole, right? You post 30 snaps in that day and he watches all 30 for 50 seconds. That higher AVD is going to boost your snap and it's going to make you more money. And I'm going to draw out a quick demonstration for you on how this works. All right, I have this beautiful drawing right here of all of these boxes. Each one of these boxes represents one Snap story. The green boxes right here represents the ads. When you get monetized with Snapchat stories, they're putting ads in between your stories. You get an ad every 4 to 6 snaps, which means obviously the more snaps you post, the more ads you'll have, the more money you'll make, blah, blah, blah. But say Mr. Sean Combs only watches 3 of those ads. He only watched 3. He didn't even make it to the first one. So you're not going to make any bread. But say our man Jermaine Cole watches all the way through, he's clicked on 1, 2, 3 different ads that he's seen. So even though they both are only one viewer, Jermaine Cole is obviously a more valuable viewer than Sean Combs. And that's why it's super important to retain AVD throughout your snaps. And the best way to do that is to make your snap story an actual story. You need to draw out your day. Here's an example. Say you're hungry. First snap, I'm hungry. Boom, click. Second snap, hey chat, what should I eat? Boom, make your next snap. You're gonna reply to someone's comment. Someone says Wendy's. You're gonna be like, boom, love Wendy's. You're gonna make another snap. Boom, on my way to Wendy's. Boom, next snap, my car's so dirty. Next snap, boom, Wendy's line too long. Next snap, you show your food. So do you understand that every single snap is correlated, which is why people will not click off? If you're posting a bunch of random gibberish, you're gonna have low AVD. My students that are the most successful, that make the most money with stories, do this, and they do it very well. But you see this last thing down here, number 3, that is also extremely important. Let me show you what your final snap is, right? You see all of these snaps right here? These are final snaps. They are the snaps that are on the Discover page. It's simply just the last snap that you have public on your story. That is your CTR. That is your click-through rate. You need to make sure that that is very enticing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. So boom, here, first thing here, importance of your final snap. As you see over here to the right, I know it's like a little outdated. My views are a little bit better now, but you can see my snaps. In the top right-hand corner, you can see how many snaps I posted in a day. See 38, 43, 25, 37. And then at the bottom, you can see how many views I got each day on those batch of stories. And you can see out of all of this, the one that got the most views was the one with a spider on the wall. And you probably can't see the caption, it's too small, but it says, oh no, I'm finna burn this building down. That was my clickbait. Number 5, you have to make your final post look organic. Your final snap has to look organic, right? If people can obviously tell that it's altered, obviously tell that it's bait, it looks too fake, no one's gonna believe it. It needs to be in a 1080 by 1920 format, how a picture is. Add some Snapchat text to it. That's always really good. Adding the small little red circles, you've seen that. That's really good. You want to make it as natural as possible so when people see it on the feed and they see something crazy, you're going to think that's actually it. It's literally clickbaiting. Let's give more examples. Oh goodness, this is old. There's a couple guys who are in my community who are probably seeing this. Yeah, so this is the 1.0 version, like I said before. We have the 3.0. All of this is updated. I have better views. I have a little bit more visuals to kind of make it easier. But this still gets the job done. I'm just looking at my views. I used to think this was really good. I've gotten 7 million views in a day. It was like 2 weeks ago. But either way, we can see a huge difference between the left and the right. I can zoom in a bit. Look at the snaps that got the most views and the ones that flopped. I posted this nurse and the caption was, nurse said I had 4 days to live. Got 1.1 million views. I thought I was light skinned and cute, and then I posted a mirror selfie and then it got 324,000 views. Obviously not as attractive, so it didn't attract as many viewers. Look at this one. They effed up his sandwich 4 times. This one, 2.3 million views. What was Kai Cenat doing? Look at this one. I posted myself a Lambo, 1.5 million views. People, family, loved ones watching this video. Can you see the trend here? When we go over to the right, look at this. What is this final snap? Terrible. What is this final snap? Me replying to a comment. Terrible. Terrible. This one right here is a little bit better. I used to filter. The text is, my plastic surgery went well. Obviously, people can tell it's a filter, but it obviously, it did better than the rest. This one spiked up a little bit. He wanted braids. I showed myself cutting my friend's hair, and obviously the one that got 930K is this goofy picture at the gas station. Now, you don't have to do that level of clickbait. I completely understand if that's not your thing. But you need a final snap that can hook people in. Let me drill this in your head. You are hooking people in and keeping their attention as long as possible. That's not a formula that only works for Snapchat. It works for every social media platform. And if you're one of those guys, like, I don't have an entertaining life, I don't have anything to post, I promise you can drag it out and just have a good final snap. You know what most people do? They steal my final snaps. I steal their final snaps. I get my final snaps from Twitter. I get them from Pinterest. As long as you're not posting anything too lewd or explicit, it will do fine. I have some more really good tips here. You see number 7, post and burst? Yeah, you should try to do it. So say you're uploading 30 snaps in a day. You should not post all of those 30 within 1 hour. Or some people post 30 in like 15 minutes and just call it a day. The most effective way, and this is what Snapchat's told me themselves, is by posting in burst. So in the morning, you post 10, in the afternoon, you'll post another 10, and at night, let's say you post 10, 12, 15. The reason why this is, it goes back to AVD again. People are more likely to click off of 30 snaps in a row than they are 10 snaps in a row. So when you spread them out, it helps. Number 8, you want to mix between videos and photos. Again, my most successful students, they know how to use videos very well. And let me tell you why videos are so interesting. Obviously, videos are better for keeping people's attention than snaps. But here's what Snapchat told me. They told me that 80% of people who are going through their stories don't have an audio. What does that tell you? That means that you don't need to be holding up the camera talking, because there's only a 20% chance that they will even hear you. So you need to have videos of you doing activities, videos of you walking, videos in motion, you know what I'm saying? That you don't need audio to understand. It may seem like I'm contradicting myself right here when I say never post videos that are too long, because here's what happens. You post videos that are too long, people click off your snaps. When people click off your snaps, it hurts your AVD, your snaps don't grow. So please be very strategic when you are posting videos. If it's hurting your AVD, hurting your views, don't even try it until you get used to it. But the masters, the people who are making 100K plus a month, are using videos. And also, number 10, something that Snapchat told me as well. I mean, they pretty much gave me so much information. I'm taking the information that they gave me my Snap School for my friends. I'm compiling it all for you. And pretty much I'm giving you sauce like a Chick-fil-A worker. So all I ask is that you subscribe right now, or I'll quit social media and I'll never make another video again. All right, thanks. So geotags. What geotags are, it's just placing your location in a snap. If you go to Snapchat filters, you'll see location, use that. I'll give you an example. I live in Las Vegas. I went to F1. On your snap map, you see these hotspots of large red points? That means that there are a lot of people there and there are a lot of snaps there. If you're in a large event, a large gathering with a lot of people,
please, please, please post snaps there. That is a massive view cheat code. I know not everyone has that experience or that leverage to really use, but if you can, use it. It's a cheat code. You can have a completely dead account, be at the right place at the right time, get 4 million views. All right, now let's back this up. I want to talk about crystals. So for some reason, Snapchat pays out like it's Clash of Clans and they pay out in crystals. Essentially, 100 crystals is $1 US. And if you move my face here, you can see crystals takes 2 weeks to send to your hyper wallet. So 2 weeks after you post a snap, it will end up in your snap crystals. And then it will take up to 2 weeks to actually cash out that money. Usually for me, it's about 5 to 8 business days. I don't think it's ever really gone to the full 2 weeks, but I would say expect to get your money. Say you make your money at the beginning of the month, 3 weeks later, expect to get that money paid out. And if you paid attention to what I just said, do you know what that means? That means that after a period of constantly making money, you will get paid out every single day from Snapchat. Every day you will wake up with new stories payout, new stories payout. And that is one reason why Snapchat is standing out right now. We talked about it earlier. All of these platforms are in a war right now and you have to stick out. That's how Snapchat's sticking out. That's why people love it so much, because you get paid really good money really fast, which is why you absolutely need to take advantage of this opportunity. One of my top students, he came in, he's been asking me questions. He makes $300 to $400 a day on one account with Snapchat stories, and he's managing 5 accounts. You know how much money that is? This is on a social media platform that everyone is sleeping on right now, but come February 1st, things are about to change big time. I think this is probably the most in-depth Snapchat stories tutorial video on YouTube. There are like 2 pretty big secrets that I am leaving just for my guys in my community. But if you watch this video, you're looking to know everything about stories, and I got the answers for you.
If you made it this far, you just got a bunch of free sauce from me, so you better subscribe. If you're interested in joining my community, DM me on Instagram. I fly you guys out. We host free mastermind events. You can be in the inner circle of all my friends, and we can teach you how to print with social media beyond just this. By the way, I'm not one of those crazy gatekeepers, so if you want to follow me on Snap and see everything I'm doing and all my posts and copy me, here it is right here. Love you guys so much. More videos soon.